With Connor Bedard's first bit of NHL play and one game left in the preseason, he has not skipped a beat. He has made this Chicago team look better than what people think they are. And I think this is going to continue throughout the year. So we're going to be talking about Connor Bedard's preseason as well as the Chicago Blackhawks in this video. But before we get into it, we noticed that 97% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel. So if you're looking for a spot to get all your news, all the breaking news around the NHL and your favorite team, you're in the right spot. Make sure to stay a while, stick around, and you won't miss out on any of the major news. But like I said, Connor Bedard has not skipped a beat at all this preseason. He has been absolutely fantastic, and especially last game, didn't have the greatest of shootout attempts, but he did have 23 minutes time on ice. You can see second player down, the most on the forward side by quite a few, only second to Seth Jones. But Connor Bedard's preseason has been absolutely incredible. He's leading, as well as Zach Benson. They were both leading the preseason in points with 5 in only a few games, but Bedard has looked absolutely fantastic. Guys, what do you think about Bedard's preseason and going into the season, especially how that's going to affect the team?
Yeah, the time on ice is absolutely ballistic. You know, I mean, if this doesn't prove that the Bedard show is in Chicago and ready to roll, then I don't know what is. Right? I mean, I think he's going to be the spotlight. I mean, the over-under on his goals I was looking at the other day was crazy. But anyway, I'll let Nick say his piece.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking that maybe, like, it's just preseason, but then again, like, he is the best out of all the players that we're playing, but, like, I don't know. We all know it doesn't really matter until the puck hits the ice against Pittsburgh on opening night, but I do got to say he looks very, very good right now, and, I mean, like, some of the plays he's been making, like, he didn't score on a few of these plays, but, man, he's getting good opportunities and, like, making defenders out there, like, who've been veterans in the league for years, making them look silly.
Yeah, especially, this comes from Cap Friendly here. I'm not sure exactly who it's by, but it's on the Connor Bedard profile. Said, Bedard starts his pro career with an exceptional play in preseason for Chicago, throughout rookie games, and now versus deeper and older rosters. He has not skipped a beat, appears physically stronger than he was at the end of the 2023 season, and has adapted to the speed of the pro game early on. Now, we know that he's a general talent, just talks about here what he's been doing, but the big part about that, I think, is that he hasn't like missed a beat at all, even against the older players, the bigger guys, the more physical guys. He's only looked like he gotten better, especially against, players that are pros and have been pros for a while. We know how big of a gap there is between junior hockey and then the NHL, even the AHL. There's a major gap between those two. And Connor Bedard not missing a beat at all and just, acting like he's been there forever. Yeah. That's something to take care of, I would say.
I think there was a bit of a question in terms of his size coming into this year, but I mean, by no means he still made everything. Every defender he goes up against looks silly. I mean, what is he? He's like 5'9". I don't even know if he's 5'9", but I don't even think he's 180 pounds, to be honest with you. And I mean, he's out there making guys look absolutely silly, like pylons.
Lucky for you, I was looking at it yesterday. He's 5'9", 185.
185, okay.
Connor McDavid's only got 8 pounds on him, even though he's got 3 inches in height.
Really?
Yeah, Connor McDavid's 193. So I don't think the size is a question. The height, sure, but the weight, 8 pounds is not really that much. So, I mean, if you want to question his size, I don't think you can really question it anymore.
No, you can't anymore.
No, he's going out there and he's strong. Like, I mean, we all knew the size of his forearms, gigantic. But, I mean, he's making everyone look really. Yeah, he's keeping up with everybody, and I mean, once you get that out of the way, he's just as skilled as any great player in the NHL, or even better.
No, I absolutely agree. Now, with his play in the preseason, like you guys said, it don't really matter until the puck drops against Pittsburgh on opening night. But this roster doesn't look as bad as people think, and I don't think it will be as bad as people think. And now that brings us to our next topic here. I don't think the Blackhawks are going to be as bad as people think. I really don't. I don't expect them to be good whatsoever. I don't expect them to be, even top 15 in the league, top 20, I would say. But I don't think they're going to be dead last. A lot of people are saying that, and I don't think this is just because of Bedard. The whole lineup, they did bring in people to go around Bedard and to, make sure he wasn't alone on this Chicago roster. And what they did, Taylor Hall, Andreas Athanasiou's been there. I'm not sure exactly when they brought him in, but pretty recently. Lucas Reichel, prospect coming up. Corey Perry, Nick Foligno, 2 veterans. This team is not horrible. I won't say it's good, and I won't say they'll be chasing any playoffs anytime soon, but I don't think they will be dead last in the league. And I think that's good for Connor Bedard's development as well as, like, the spirits of the team, because that's a big part as well. You can't have a guy like Connor Bedard being the only person on the team who can score, bringing the spirits down and everything. That just won't work. That's not how a team is made. That's not how a team is rebuilt. It's not the process of a rebuild. But I don't think they're going to be good, but I think the Blackhawks will be all right. What do you guys think? I know you probably won't agree with me, but especially as a Wild fan, I get to see them. But it's going to be an interesting season.
I like bringing in Foligno and I like bringing in Corey Perry. Good, big, veteran, gritty guys help kind of around Connor Bedard, and I like bringing in Taylor Hall for the speed. But I don't think it's enough to make them a above a bottom feeder team. I do think playing a guy like Andreas Athanasiou with Connor Bedard, two speedy guys, two very talented guys. I think you're going to see Andreas Athanasiou have a breakout year with Connor Bedard, but it's not enough, plain and simple. But I know Nick's frothing at the mouth over there to get his piece in about what Kirk said. So if you want to take it over, go for it.
Well, they're definitely going to be a top 32 team. That's for sure. No, I don't think they'll be last either, Kirk. I don't think they'll be the last place team. Like, there's teams like San Jose for that or something, but especially since they lost a 100-point player who was also their best defenseman. So I mean,
True.
that's pretty bad. But I don't think they're going to be above. They're not getting out of the top 5 in the draft. They're not getting out of the top 5. They're going to be in the top 5 in the draft, and it's like, that's a good thing. That's how you do a rebuild. You get a few top 5 picks. I mean, getting a generational talent at number 1 overall is great. I mean, not to say anything bad about Slavkovsky, but I mean, if Montreal was worse 1 year later, it might have been a lot different in Montreal right now. But they got the best year possible to get a first overall pick, and now they just need to build a few more players around them, a few prospects. But
can you imagine if they get Yzerman or
if they get Yzerman? Wow!
Oh my God!
That team is going to be great in the future. It's going to be another Chicago dynasty coming up if that happens. But just to add on to what I was saying, like, I don't think they'll get out of the top 5 in the draft. But I do think they'll be a little bit better than they were last year. Like, they weren't last in the NHL last year either. They just happened to win the draft. Like, remember, Anaheim was last. But with Chicago, they've got a first line, they've got a third line, and 2 fourth lines behind that. So, they're not going to be good.
Yeah, I don't expect them, like you said. Like, I think that's a fair assessment. Like, top 5 in the draft or just outside. I can't really see them being any more than that, any like deeper in the draft. But even the defense is pretty young as well. Wyatt Kaiser, Kevin Korchinski, Seth Jones being overpaid as usual, Connor Murphy, and so it's not a bad lineup, but it's not going to be no fantastic team. But just one last question here for you guys before we end this video off. Do you think that Bedard will be more of a goal scorer or a playmaker on this team? Do you think he's going to be creating plays, or he's going to be the guy just putting the pucks in the net, or if he's going to be, a bit of both, like majority both, I would say, for this team?
I don't know, man. I think that's a toss-up. I think it could go either way. I think, like I said, bringing in a guy like Athanasiou and Taylor Hall, 2 speedy guys, maybe play them on the wing. I think he might get 40, 50 assists, maybe 30 goals. I could see him being a little bit more of a playmaker with those guys on his lines. But for his career, I don't know. I think it could go anyway.
I agree with you. For this year, he's definitely going to be more of a playmaker, because I can see with Taylor Hall and Athanasiou, they're decent, but they're not. Like, Taylor Hall is not the star player he once was.
Yeah.
He's not. He's still top
fast,
6.
Man.
He's very fast, and I think it's going to be a lot more of Bedard setting them up than them setting Bedard up, because Bedard is going to be the primary puck carrier on that line. So, and even if they do that line, I don't even know if Athanasiou is going to be there, even though it looks good right now. But I think for his career, like you said, it could go either way. I'm leaning towards more of a goal scorer because of his shot or whatever. And who knows, maybe on the power play he gets a few this year too. Like, he could have a lot of power play goals. But if there's not many power play goals, I don't see him getting over 30, because those players are just not talented enough to be able to set him up for that many goals.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to be setting up Taylor Hall and Athanasiou for plenty of chances. Now, if they finish them is the question, but I think he could end up with a lot of assists this year.
Yeah, I like that idea. The power play goals especially. He's a guy that's going to draw a lot of penalties, going to break through, kind of like a McDavid. I think we might also see perhaps like a little Ryan Nugent-Hopkins effect, where some random guy in the Blackhawks comes out and gets like 80, 90 points, might have like 40 goals. We might see that. So let us know down below what you think about this. What do you think about Connor Bedard this preseason? As well, if you think that we might see like a little toss-up of a playmaker, goal scorer type aspect of Connor Bedard this season. But that's all we have for this video. Thank you for watching. Let us know down below as well if you want to see more Connor Bedard stuff. Obviously, that's the big news this season, I would say. But if you did like it, also make sure to like the video. Subscribe to the channel. That's all we have for this video. Thank you for watching. See you later. Have a good day.